You're here because, as you said, you feel there's more to life than what you managed to experience so far, right? There is something that's missing in your life, right? If I get it right, it's some kind of a sensation of being whole, of being in your place, of being comfortable in your skin. And in your words, just being happy, right? To change how you experience your life, or to change your experience of your life, first we need to understand the fundamentals. It starts with understanding a little bit about the base concepts. And a good place to start is to understand how and what is this experience of life. We can't fully unpack it, but a little bit, and enough to a degree that we can start making modifications. So two things we need to understand. What is this experience of life? And how we experience it. So to understand the experience of life, we can focus on the two words, experience and life, right? And without getting too philosophical, let's talk about experience. Experience is something that is happening now. Because if it's not in the now, it's a dream, it's a wish, it's an imagination, it's something that we strive for, it's something in the future, or it's a memory. It's something that happened in the past. An experience happens in that very moment. Right? If it passed, it's a memory of an experience. If it's in the future, so an experience is in the now. That's one element. Life. Think of any living matter, right? One of the key characteristics is it never stays the same. Think of plants, think of animals, think of people. We constantly change, right? So that's one. On the other hand, think of cement. Doesn't get more dead than that, right? It doesn't change unless there is an external force operating on it. Nothing will change. It can stay the same for hundreds of years, right? So one thing about life, it's dynamic. It's constantly changing. The second thing, it is unpredictable, right? You see a baby, you can never fully predict how it's going to be when it grows up. You plant an orange tree. You know you're going to get an orange tree, but you don't know exactly how it's going to look like, how many oranges will it produce, how long will it live. There is always an uncertain element about any living matter, right? So life contains itself two key characteristics. It's unpredictable and it's dynamic, right? And the experience brings it into the now. So our life experience has to include all those three elements, right? For us to be fully alive. Once we diminish any of those three dimensions, we become less alive. We experience less of life, right? That's already a key understanding if you take it in, because any rigid structure that you try and put in place in your life goes against the nature of life. So any ritual that you're very rigid about, it goes against the essence of it. So it's never gonna help you find your happy place. Right? Another element that we can already deduct from this very simple analysis and understanding is the fact that for us to live fully, we need to embrace the nature of the experience, which means we need to be okay with the unpredictability. We need to be okay with the unknown. If we're not okay with it, we detract our ability of living fully. When we seek the predictability, we diminish our own experience of life. Now, that is the most common trait with many people, because they associate predictability with safety, with security. So they seek the predictability. They want to know what's going to be in their life in a month, in a week, in a year, in 10 years. And they believe that they will, if they put certain structures, that will give them that predictability. So they already operate twice against the essence of life. They put rigid structures, and they do not embrace the unpredictable nature. And they're trying to manage the dynamic element. See? So the first thing is to understand the nature, and then throughout our work, we'll try and get you more comfortable with those traits. Being comfortable embracing the unpredictable nature, being comfortable with not knowing, being comfortable with lack of predictability, the fact that it's constantly changing. Why? Because the change, if you look at the other side of that coin, it also means opportunity. All right? So that's one element. The second element we need to understand before we get going is, how do you actually experience life? How does that system work? Right? So if you think about yourself, you have 5/6 senses. Depends on your belief system, doesn't matter at this point. Let's keep it simple. Let's say everyone agrees we have 5 senses. Right? Those 5 senses, what are they really? They're sensors. Right? It's a sensing device. If you take your 5 senses and put it on a waveband, trying to chart what waveband each sensor actually detects, what you will realize that if you place it on the waveband, you have 5 cracks in the waveband, very, very narrow, very tiny cracks through which those sensors detect. Yet we have a very rich and coherent understanding of what reality is, what is going on. How's that happening? It's not through the senses. The senses are only sensing devices. So where does it happen? It happens inside of us. You hear my voice. I create all kinds of patterns, voice patterns. Your ear detects it. That's the sensor. But then what happens? Then you decipher. You decipher that sound packet into a word. And then you decipher the word and you assign meaning to it. Those stages happen inside. They don't happen outside. They happen only inside of you. We have billions of data points coming in every second, throughout all our senses. And we build a coherent picture of what is going on. So we have some kind of a processing system. It processes the signals and builds, first deciphers it, and then builds a meaning out of it. And the meaning is the experience. Therefore, our life experience happens inside, not outside. Right? So we have a central processing system that operates in the now, real time, and it processes an experience that is dynamic and unpredictable. That is our life experience. If we want to affect change fast, we need to start tinkering with that system, that operating system, because that's the operating system of our life. Right? That system is the system that decides how you respond to what's happening on the outside. Right? And how you respond decides or heavily affects how the outside responds to you. So now there is a process of co-creation between the inside or the outside. But your experience, not somebody else's, your experience happens on the inside, regardless of what happens on the outside. Of course, it is a co-creation and there is a mutual impact. But as you start changing, as you start responding differently, life will respond to you differently. Right? If you go around on the street and smile to people all the time and hug them and be welcoming, they will welcome you. Mostly. Maybe not everyone. Right? But more than average. If you go on the street frowning and angry with an angry expression, people stay away. There's an interaction. But your deciding power is on your inside.